I'm Juniper, and I'd like to welcome you to my Peace Studio here in Western Montana. I'm back in the city where I went to college, and I'm very glad to be back here. So I would like to acknowledge that I am on the traditional ancestral homeland of the Salish people. And I'm very grateful for their many, many generations of careful stewardship that have preserved this place and its beauty, its uniqueness, and the diversity of its plant, animal, and human life. Thank you so, so much. And I also like to mention where I am because as a meditation and inner peace expert, I often get asked if it's necessary to be in a beautiful place like Montana in order to experience peace. Oof, maybe, but not necessarily. I'd like to share a little bit more about myself, my experiences with peace. But before I get into all that, I'd like us to pause for a little bit and invite you to reflect. Because one of the first jobs I had after college was an English teacher. I moved abroad and taught English, and I learned very quickly that if I just give students definitions of words and tell them how to construct a grammatical sentence, they're never going to learn how to speak English. They have to actually speak English in order to speak English. And peace is very similar. It does need to be practiced. We do have to have our personal connection with it. But don't worry, this is not like a quiz, okay? You don't have to have a correct answer or a profound insight. In fact, you don't even have to find an answer today. I would prefer if you do not. This is really just about opening up your mind, exploring some ideas. You're mostly going to be able to sit back, relax, and listen. But let's just take a moment to bring to mind, what does inner peace mean to you right now, today? So if you'd like, you could slow down your breathing a little bit, make any adjustments you need to get comfortable in your body, maybe gently move it a little bit. And just take a few comfortable breaths. Your eyes can be open or closed. And just ask yourself, what does inner peace mean to me? You're still breathing comfortably, letting different words or images come to mind. Maybe you notice sensations in your body. Just see if there is any sense or picture of peace that comes to mind. Just take another few comfortable breaths. And if you are getting an idea or a feeling of peace, that's great. You can continue to connect with that and refer back to that as we go through these videos. If you didn't quite find an answer or it was unclear, that's okay. That just means that you're in the right place. Because there have been a lot of ideas and opinions about peace passed down through us over the millennia. So you're gonna have all of these videos to continue learning about peace and forming your own personal definition of it. Like I said, it's actually great if you didn't come to an answer today. So now we're going to get to the part that I cannot believe I agreed to this. I'm going to try to answer the most difficult spiritual question in a short time frame, in a video that's appealing for the internet. I'm going to try to answer the question, who am I? Wow. Well, in brief, I'm someone who doesn't fit well into an elevator pitch. I'm someone who's had many interests and passions. So I'm just going to share with you the highlights, and in particular, how they relate to peace, what I learned from peace from that particular era of my life. And in this way, we're also going to debunk some of those myths about peace. So, okay, are you ready? Here we go. I am a writer, an actor, a director, and a freelance nun. That's N-U-N, like inner peace. Okay, what is a freelance nun? That's a good question. The short answer is that I'm a spiritual independent. I don't belong to a religion or a spiritual group or teacher. I've learned from different teachers and meditation styles and religious teachings, but I've never been a member of a religion. Even when I lived in a monastery, I found a monastery that was non-denominational. It was not Christian, it was not Buddhist. It was a place where people really wanted to meditate a lot and bring meditation into the secular world in a way that was science-friendly and not religious. So I've really found I can learn a lot about peace, and I've had many peaceful experiences that have nothing to do with religion. So that takes us to the first idea, and I'm going to go ahead and say misconception about peace, which is that it requires a religion. Now, religion can be very helpful. It can be a very supportive and meaningful part of life. So if you are religious, you're not going to have to change that. We would just talk about how your religion could help you find peace. But if you're not religious, that's also okay. You will not need to convert to anything. I'm not going to ask you to do that. So, okay, that's a whole lot of studying that just got taken off of your plate. You're not going to need to go that route. And we're going to continue talking about what the heck a freelance nun is. So that's the first idea about inner peace that we can just toss out. It doesn't require religion. Okay, but you know what? Maybe it's even silly that I started with religion, because here we are in late stage capitalism. It's all about, right? Money. How great is it? Because we can get it, and then it makes our life better. And that's a very common idea about peace, that it requires a certain amount of money. And there is a little bit of truth to that. I do think that when people are struggling to meet their basic needs, peace can be more difficult. And it's not necessary for people to be struggling to meet their basic needs. I mean, there's enough money in the world out there, okay? Especially because there's so much research out there now that shows that after a certain point, after you're comfortable enough, all those millions of dollars do not create more peace. Plenty of stories of sad billionaires or people who won the lottery and then returned to their level of happiness before they won the lottery. Money can actually complicate peace much more so than just having an average income. So, I know, it's so tempting. It's so tempting to think if I have enough money, I'll find peace. And I experienced something like that. A few years ago, before the pandemic, I was in my dream job. I was in San Francisco, working on a meditation app, and there was a really great collaborative team of people. We were focused on teaching meditation as it relates to neuroscience. So we were talking to neuroscientists and other meditation experts, trying to create a curriculum so that meditation could be more accessible for your average person. It's a very exciting project, lots of great people. I was making more money than I'd ever made before. So sometimes I wondered if I was just greedy or a bad person. But that peace was elusive. It was not automatically filling my days just because I had a good salary and a good job. So money and peace, not required. Money is not required for peace. That's an idea we can throw out. But what about this dream job? And maybe the problem was just having an employer. Maybe if you pursue your passions and don't have an employer, maybe that can lead to peace, right? Yes, I'm experiencing that now. I have been following my artistic passions and yes, feeling more fulfilled and at peace with who I am than at any other time in my life. And it's not all that really creative, exciting stage of, developing a new project. I still have to deal with deadlines and spreadsheets and interacting with the world. So again, peace did not automatically and forever enter my life the day where I said, I shall be an artist. Take that, family. I don't care what you say. I didn't move to Broadway. I'm here in Montana, but that's a story for another day. We are going to be talking about how passion and your purpose, they do relate to peace. So if you do have an opportunity to follow your passions, whether that is connected to income or not, is not important. But again, it's not an automatic light switch. So, oh, I know. What is it? What else is it that people often think creates peace? Love, relationships, good, healthy relationships with my fellow humans. And yes, I do think there's a lot to be said for positive relationships in our lives influencing our level of peace. It is technically possible to find peace in a dim, dark, almost completely hopeless situation without any friends. But oh my gosh, the challenge level, we don't want to be in that situation. Most of us do want good people in our lives. So yes, people can really make a big change in how we see the world, how we view ourselves in either a positive or negative light. And so I do encourage good, healthy relationships as part of the path to peace. But my own divorce taught me that, dang it, again, it's not automatic. I thought it was. It was for a while. It was like everything was great. And then we're both okay now. And I'm glad we did get married. I'm glad we separated when we did. But that was one of the most painful experiences I've ever gone through. Ouch. If you're going through something like that right now, I feel you, and this too shall pass. I promise. So again, it's a little bit more complicated than just a simple fantasy of, oh, when I meet that next person, then my life will be filled with peace. Because you don't know who that person is. You can't control them. You don't know how long it's going to work out. Do you kind of see where I'm pointing us to here? All these other outside areas where, it's like I tried so hard. I tried so hard to find peace in all those avenues. And maybe that's why they didn't work. Because I was looking outside and not connecting in here. But if you think about it, what I've shared with you is actually really good news. Because if peace required a perfect religion, a perfect partner, a beautiful place, and you don't have those things, that's stressful, right? Then that is like, how do I get there? We want something that's inside us wherever we go. in different situations with different people. Because even if you do have your dream spouse and you've been plugging along together for decades, I'm hoping you are not, tied together all the time. And there are times where you're apart, needing to face your own challenges and live your own life. And that is the good thing about peace. It does not actually depend on outside circumstances. And yes, we do have to talk about healthy, good living conditions for everyone on the planet. We all deserve beautiful, healthy, good living conditions. And peace. Let me give you one answer. Let me give you one answer that I have for what inner peace is, which is simple. It's feeling calm and confident. So I'd like to leave you with this question. Ask yourself, when? When do I feel calm and confident? And I'll see you in the next video.